Welcome to Rick's Corner. Today I have a friend of mine I've known for a very, very long time, and you people know him from TV, from Repo. It's called Repo?
Operation Repo.
Operation Repo. Matt Burch, who was a bodybuilder, and he went into wrestling for a while, and he's an all-around great guy. He's been a good friend for a long time. Never met a nicer guy in my life, and that's the truth. And so he's been asking me, why don't you bring me on the show? I'll bring you all types of viewers and people. And I meant to, and I don't know why we never set a date, but now we got the date. So now we're here. And this is a good thing.
And I'm glad to be here.
I know you are. I'm glad you're here. Just talk a little bit briefly about the beginning when you were a young guy, because you sent me pictures I'm going to post when you were bodybuilding in really good shape too.
Thank you.
I had hair.
I had hair. It was pretty.
At one point. What inspired you to become a bodybuilder? What were you doing prior to that?
I was the product of a wife-beating, child-beating father. Mm-hmm. The bodybuilding gave me an armor plating to defend myself against that.
Okay.
Now, it didn't make me be able to beat him up, but it helped me to endure.
Yeah.
So, and it gave me self-esteem.
Okay.
You know.
I get that. It does to a lot of people. There's my girlfriend had sent me a joke about training. This guy said, I've been training 6 months and made no progress, but cognitive training I did. Mean his mind got better. He got more self-confidence.
There we go.
Because it does that.
Yes.
It does give you self-confidence. You have a better feeling about yourself when you're doing something. Not that you're out to beat people up or trying to impress people, but it makes you just better from what you do.
It makes you feel that much better about yourself. Because when you come from a world where everyone's telling you what a loser, what a punk, what a pussy, it gives you that self-esteem.
Yeah, exactly. So who inspired you to train?
This is a long, well, not a long story. This is a really great story. His name was Wayne Anderson. I'm not quite sure about his credentials. I believe Mr. Northern California in 1972. Mm-hmm. He was my sister's boyfriend, and he bought me my first weight bench at 12 years old.
Was it a Joe Beater weight bench?
Ivan Cole. No,
Ivan Cole.
What was the other one? The old school one.
There was Paramount?
Yes, Paramount. Yeah. So the Paramount weights, the whole bit. And, of course, then all we did was bench press. You remember that?
You know, it's funny that you say that, because back in those days, there were gyms, but they were a little bit different. You had to work out at home a little bit.
It was Jack LaLanne's European Health Spas.
Right.
They weren't gyms. They were European Health Spas.
Yeah. Exactly. So you train at home, and you get a couple of weights, and you get like a barbecue bench, right?
Yes.
And the barbecue bench was wood, and it was really wide. So if you tried to do bench presses, your scapulas and back would probably get raw from the wood cutting.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
It just wasn't comfortable at all. But you did the best you could. And the other thing about doing that back then, you had to take the locks off the weights, put the weights on, put them back on, the collars. It took forever.
Well, also what I would do is I would take bricks, the old gray bricks, slide them on each end if I needed extra weight. It was real barbaric.
No, people did that. People would take coffee cans and paint cans, fill them with cement, and put the bars in. I don't know what it weighed, but it served the purpose.
But it was extra weight if you couldn't afford anything, because no one had any money back in the day. You know
exactly. So when you did this and you started to see yourself develop, what went from there?
Well, a funny thing did happen where I gained self-esteem and respect from people. Here's a funny thing that happens with bodybuilders. Apparently, because we're in good shape, we're accused of being homosexual.
Oh, you're not?
Which is not necessarily a bad thing,
right.
But it's really funny how the jealousy from certain people will come out, and he looks gay. Well, let me get this straight, because I have self-respect and I take care of myself, I'm gay. Well, then I guess I'm a screaming queen. You know,
here's what it came from. Years ago, I watched a couple of movies when I was a kid, and this guy worked out. He wasn't really a bodybuilder, but he bumped a guy on the sidewalk, and the girl looks at their boyfriend. She says, he's just nothing but a muscle-bound idiot.
Right.
He stares in the mirror narcissistically at himself all day long. So people started to think, if you're going to look in the mirror at yourself and pose all the time, you got to be gay to be doing this, which is not the case.
Absolutely.
You need a mirror to train, because you're watching your movement. And you go back to days of Arnold, everybody says that. You've got to watch the muscle as you work it so you know what it's working. If I put a big, thick sweatshirt on, I'm working, I don't know, I can't see where it's going.
Absolutely.
You've got to see where those reps are taking place, and that inspires you to train a little harder.
Absolutely.
It has nothing to do with being gay or homosexual. It's it's just that you're trying to train your body to make it look well.
Which, and I'm going to say this, there's nothing wrong with being gay. It's not the issue about being gay, but I don't understand why that's such a negative. You know, I don't understand why that. Some people have made it a negative.
I don't think it is today. I think you're going back several years.
Yeah, back when we were back in the heyday.
Right.
You know.
And well, the other reason why is because as a bodybuilder, young bodybuilder in my days, you attracted a gay audience.
Absolutely.
And they would come down to the beach and they'd like to take you to lunch, and they wanted.
Absolutely.
And you can't fault them for that, because they see a guy with a good body, they want it. We see a girl with a good body, we want it.
Absolutely.
And that's what your eye is attracted to, is the physical specimen of what that person is.
Actually, I'd probably be a lot happier if I was gay, because I'd probably get laid a little more.
No, if you were bisexual, you double your chances of a date on a Saturday night. All right, so you worked out, you saw your body start to grow.
Yes.
What'd you do with it at that time?
Basically, you got to understand, I wasn't really the most intelligent guy. I wasn't the most skilled guy. I just went through life at mediocre jobs, just trying to keep my act together.
Yeah.
I went through a phase in the 80s with drugs. And I didn't touch alcohol or anything until I was in my late 20s. And then I went completely off the end.
Yeah.
And then I regained my composure again in my 30s. But I was basically just mediocre job after mediocre job, nothing happening.
Yeah. Not really having any direction?
No direction at all. Just, but what it was taking back a step, is that my son was born. Mm-hmm. So I had to keep working, whatever it was, to keep the income coming in.
Sure.
And that was my motivation, because I really had my self-esteem was still pretty low.
Right. Because
I deal with bipolar disorder, and the whole night. You name every negative thing that's happened to somebody, it's happened to me.
Right.
But the thing is, here's the thing, you can have all these negative things happen. It's how you deal with it. Is how you come back from it.
Do you think, can I ask you a question? When you start the day on a negative, everything seems to follow in suit of the negative. You stub your toe, you drop a cup, you trip at the back door, and from that day, it seems like everything falls into place like that.
Yes.
And you have to talk to yourself and say, you know what, this can't happen. I've got to turn it into a positive. For me, and probably for you, the going to the gym is the positive thing.
Oh, absolutely. See, no matter what has ever happened in my life, no matter what negative crap has come my way, I can always go back to base, and that base is the gym.
Right.
Okay. And it brings you back to reality. It brings you something back, and you can build on that.
Right.
Right. Right now, for the first time in my life, I got overweight. And because I left the gym for 18 months. As you know, I'm back now.
Yeah.
And it's a process. It'll come back, and the self-esteem will come with it again.
Okay, let's backtrack for a minute, because we're going to get to that. Let's go in sequence of what we're doing here. So you were in bodybuilding, mm-hmm. and then you got into acting too?
I met a guy named Nils Stewart. You remember?
Oh, Nils Stewart, sure, of course.
Yeah, I met Nils. And I tried getting into that.
And you guys all know him, by the way. He's about 6'4".
6'4".
Used to wrestle, has a shaved head with a braided ponytail in back.
Yeah.
Looks kind of like he's half Asian, but he's really not.
No. Well, he got me, because at that time when I met Nils,
yeah.
I'm 6'1", I'm 290 pounds with a 24-inch arm. And I'm like, and it was that big guy thing,
Yeah.
And he got me going a little bit. And I'm not really a great actor, but I have a natural ability in front of the camera.
Right.
Okay.
As you can see.
And that's where it came. And then Nils started talking me into trying to be a wrestler. Now I was an amateur wrestler in high school.
Right.
Okay. Wasn't good at it. I'll be straight out with you. I wasn't that good at it. I mean, I knew enough to get by, and I actually learned wrestling so I could deal with things on the street.
Right.
But I got to tell you, anybody out there who ever goes at that pro wrestling, it's so fake, I dare you to get into one of these rings and roll around with some of these guys. It is the most devastating thing you've ever been through in your life.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. But after that, again, I roamed around. Then I started repossessing cars. I'm going to tell you.
Wait a minute.
Yeah?
We left one big thing out.
What's that?
Where we met.
Oh, yes. In the wrestling.
In San Clemente. Tell them the story.
So I had about maybe 2 months of training under my belt. And we were wrestling at Extreme University over in Mission Viejo.
Right.
So they're telling me I got to work with Rick Drasin. And you got to understand, I heard all these rumors about Rick, not that he was a bad guy, just, it's like I'm here and he's up here and we get in the ring and I completely went blank.
Wait. Let me say something and then we'll go to the ring. I go into the dressing room and I walked up and introduced myself to you.
Right.
And I said, we're working together. You said, you called me Mr. Drasin. Tell me, Mr. Drasin, frankly, I'm pretty scared. I said, don't be scared. We're going to do about 10, 15 minutes and we'll do some hold to hold and we'll take our time. And you said, I don't really know any holds. I know maybe 2 moves. And I thought to myself,
oh boy.
What are we going to do for 12 to 15 minutes? All right, so then we got in the ring.
Yes. And I don't want to say it was humiliating, but it pretty much was, because everything I went to do, it just wasn't working out right. Long story short, we got through it.
You know how we got through it?
Because you walked us through, because you made it happen.
I did, but what I did is I threw you out of the ring.
Yeah.
And I said, stay down there and just sell for about 5 or 10 minutes. Let me walk around and torment the people. Then we'll come back in and we'll finish it up.
So
you got to go out there and breathe.
Yeah, because that was another thing too. At 290 pounds, my cardio level was about, I don't know, maybe a 2. I could last 3 minutes maybe.
Oh, we had fun.
But we did have fun. We did have fun, and these are learning experiences that you just can't buy.
Well, it brought us together as friends, number one, which was a good plus. And then from that point on, you started doing other stuff, and we passed our paths crossed again out here in the ring for some shows. But we'll talk about that now. So then you got this thing with Repo.
Yeah, like I said, I started repossessing cars, and I started thinking, wow, this would make a hell of a TV show. Oh, no, let me backtrack one more time. As you know, I became a personal trainer too. Mm-hmm. So I was a personal trainer by day.
On Riverside.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember.
And I was a personal trainer by day and a repossession agent by night.
Right.
Well, they did a show it was called The Gym. I don't know if you remember The Gym.
I do.
Did a show called The Gym, and it really kind of zoned in on that. And then we thought, well, hell, this would make a really good show, just the repossession stuff. Nobody wanted it. I mean, no, it'll never work. It'll never work. It'll never play out. That show, no, absolutely not. Well, here's what we did. We decided to pitch it in Spanish to the Spanish networks.
Right.
They wanted it. Funny thing happened. It became the most popular show on Spanish TV, and I was the only Caucasian male ever on Spanish TV, and they loved me.
Well, you were completely different from the rest of the cast.
Yes.
Oh, completely stood out.
Yeah.
This was your niche. This was your heyday.
This is what did it.
This is where you're supposed to shine.
And believe me, I did. And believe me, it caused a lot of issues. Because Big Lou Pizarro on the show hated the fact that I was so well loved, because according to him, it was his show. And that's fine. It was your show. You did steal it. Look, I get it. And you made it happen. But the fact is, they liked me. Yeah. And he hated that. Yeah. And it caused a lot of problems. Yeah. But here's what happened. It became so popular on Spanish TV. Now guess who wanted it? The major networks wanted it. And we actually put it on True TV, which was not True TV at the time. It was Court TV.
Yeah, I know.
So
that, yeah.
True TV, our show, Operation Repo, was the first show on True TV, and it literally put True TV on the map. And it literally put it on the map. And it was a cult classic. It just climbed and climbed from there. And we had 12 seasons.
I know.
12 seasons.
Long time.
I was in 174 episodes. And it should have been the best time of my life, but I'll be bluntly honest, it wasn't. And I'm not going to get into it because I don't want to ruin it for the fans, but I learned about this scene.
Yeah, what you see isn't always what you get. However, you came from a place where things were negative, you weren't getting what you wanted to do, you stumble onto a show, and after all those shows, people know who you are.
Absolutely.
And at this point in your life, you can capitalize on that. Now you're here doing this, and people can say, oh, you know what, Matt Burch, let's get him for something else, because this is how the business works.
Exactly.
The more you're seen, the more you're heard, the more people see you. They don't forget about you because you make sure you're out in front of them, and they'll call you in on something. This is going to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And in fact, there's a new show coming. I can't say too much about it, but it'll be shot over in Vegas. We shot the sizzle reel. We shot a couple episodes of it. We're pitching it now. And me and my little Mexican co-star, Froyland, who I love very much, he's my best friend, will be making our big comeback.
Good for you.
Yeah, and have a little ownership on this one.
Is this the one we talked about around 6 months ago?
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
cool.
yes.
Yeah.
And when the camera comes off, I'll show you the trailer.
Okay. So your future plan now is to make this thing happen?
My future plan now is this. I'm going to make this happen. I'm in my 50s now. So I have to get that, have to get my nest egg. I have to capitalize on my name. Yeah. And the funny thing is, Rick, here's the deal. Like you, I'm now a worldwide. It's just amazing to me that people on the other side of the planet know who I am.
Oh yeah.
And I got to tell you, to the fans, I love you so much. You guys come up, and I always get I have a handshake and a healthy hello to every single one of you. And thank you for your support over the years. It's been fantastic.
That's important. You got to stay in touch with the fans. That's I go to the gyms and people stop me from the show, and I'll sit and I'll talk to them. I was up in Carmel this past 2 weeks ago with my girlfriend for her birthday, and one of the waiters there came up. He said, "I hate to bother you, but I'm a big fan of your show. I want to say hello." So we sat and talked for about 5 or 10 minutes about his workout, and I straightened him out on it. And he said, "I didn't think you'd even talk to me." Why?
Yeah, well, here's why.
You support my show. I'm going to support you too.
Well, here's why, Rick. Here's what I found out. In fact, I've heard my co-stars, and I'm not going to name names, literally, I went to go talk to him, and he literally snubbed me. He walked away from me, and I'm like, I don't get that.
No, it happens.
I don't get it. Let me get this straight. The fans are what make you who you are.
Right.
And I'm sorry. I know some of my celebrity I know some of my celebrity contemporaries are going to tell me you're an idiot, but here's the deal. I feel we have an obligation to the fans.
Absolutely.
To stop, to stop whatever we're doing, whether it's we're eating, whatever, and say hello and shake hands and thank you for watching.
Right. Make them feel at home.
Absolutely. We're obligated to
I've
that.
had people do that to me, and I really appreciate it. I think it's important just to pass it on. Because people watch for a reason. They connect and they want to know and they ask questions. I get a lot of you viewers email me or send me a message on YouTube about working out and stuff, and I try to answer all of them. Many of you said to me to get Dave Draper and to get some of these other guys. Let me answer all one time here. I've tried to get some of these people. Dave doesn't want to do interviews. Frank Zane hasn't returned my call. There's a few like that just aren't interested in doing anything. And I've really tried to do it, but they don't care.
And it's a shame because these were people we looked up to.
Right.
See, Rick's got a few years on me, but the deal was we looked up to all of these guys. They changed our lives.
Yeah.
And you trying to tell me you don't have a minute
Right.
to say hello and at least let us thank you for what you've done?
Some just don't want to do it. They don't want to be on camera. They don't want to talk. They don't like the way they look today. They're embarrassed about it. And so...
I'm a slob now. I'm on your show. And next time you see me again, I'll be back in shape.
Yeah.
Screw it.
All right, so you're training now every day?
I'm back every day. Everything hurts. The shoulders hurt. The elbows hurt. The only thing that doesn't hurt is the hips and the knees and the ankles, which surprises me because I've done a lot of heavy squats.
That's usually the first thing to go.
But it's the shoulders that are shot. And but other than that, you know what? Be a man and get over it. You got to be there anyway. You know as well as I do about pain. You got to work through it.
It's very hard.
It's
very hard. Every day is different pain. And for all you guys that have the shoulder pain, the knee pain, the back pain, we all have it. I've done some research the past couple of weeks and talked to people 34 years younger than me and maybe 20 years younger, and every one of them has an issue with shoulders mainly and knees and lower back. So
Don Homeworth was telling me about.
Yeah,
he had cannonballs.
Yeah,
but I'm just going to give everyone asks me, young bodybuilders especially, advice. And here's what I'm going to tell you straight out. And I know you're going to be mad at me for this. Don't worry about the heavy lifting, guys.
Exactly.
Trust me when I tell you, it's not worth it. It doesn't earn you any money. It doesn't make you any better. Stay lean, stay hard, stay healthy.
Exactly.
Please.
And the heavyweight just causes injury. We've all been through it. We've all done it, and it hurts. Would you do it again? Would I do it again? Yeah, but I tell you not to because it does over time take its toll on the joints. It's like driving a car over bumpy roads all day long. Eventually, all the suspension wears out, just like your body wears out too. So be cautious of what you do. If you feel anything starting to go, starting to pull in here a little bit, drop the weight down. Back off. Because eventually it's going to snap. And then you got a real issue.
There's no reason, like I'm sure, there's no reason to be doing 600-pound squats and 475-pound bench pressing and 90-pound dumbbell curls. It's ridiculous. You don't need it unless you're making. Here's the deal. I'm going to be the American thing. Unless you're bringing in a buck over it, don't do it.
Exactly. Chances are you're not. All right, so if they want to reach you, where they can find you on Facebook?
They can find me on Facebook, Matt Burch. I have a Matt Burch fan page, and I have a Matt Burch personal page.
Okay.
And the personal page, you reach me there because I'll always answer you there. Other than that, you know where to find me. I'm out here on these streets every day.
You'll put updates on Facebook if you got new shows going on.
Absolutely. Everything. And for the fans, be patient because things are coming. We're playing the game right now, and they're going to come.
Good. I'm happy you're here. Thank you.
Thank you, buddy. God bless you.
Thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for more Rick's Corners. By the way, you asked me about Dave Haft. Yes, he said he'll do the show. He's in Hawaii right now. He's coming back. There's a few other guys I'm trying to get, like I said. Haven't been able to get Frank Zane. Couldn't get Dave Draper. There was someone else who asked. I forgot who it was. Trust me when I tell you, I'm trying to do it. It's just a matter of them following up with me. I'm here for them. They need to be here for me, too. Thank you so much for watching Rick's Corner. See you next time.
Once again, I'm Matt Burch, and you're watching Rick's Corner. Thank you.
It's RickDrasin.com. He is the equalizer, baby. See you next time.